I want to welcome everybody to this webinar of today about cybersecurity for your small business. The webinar is hosted by SCORE and specifically by the Central New Jersey chapter of SCORE. SCORE is a national organization that encompasses 250 chapters spread around the territory, the United States, and accounting for more than 10,000 mentors. SCORE exists for the very simple purpose of helping small businesses get started, grow, and prosper. We do this with webinars like these, seminars, when we will be able to do this in person again, and then offering resources through our website, and of course through direct mentoring. In today's session, besides Nilofer Tamboli, who's our presenter and the expert on cybersecurity, we also have Jane Meyer and myself. We are mentors with the chapter, and we will be available at the end of the session for questions that you might have about your specific business or about general questions. Of course, questions about cybersecurity will be answered directly by Nilofer, who's the expert. And with that said, I'll turn it over to Nilofer for her presentation.
Thank you, Stellario, and welcome everyone. I'm going to share my screen so you guys can see the presentation. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Thanks everyone for joining this webinar today. I'm going to talk about cybersecurity for the small businesses as well as to protect the business owner. And I'm going to walk through three main topics. One is how to prevent ransomware attacks, how to secure your and prevent identity theft, as well as how to secure your customer data. Small businesses are basically the result of your hard work. And just like you would have a store and you would secure your store so that, heaven forbid, if somebody's trying to come and steal things from you and if you make it a little bit difficult, they probably won't spend more time on yours and they go to the next or wherever it is that they want to go. Similar kind of scenario we are going to see here. Okay. And you've heard this a lot of times. It says 90% of what you worry about never happens. And that's so true. However, today we are going to talk about the 10%. Okay, so small businesses are overconfident and underprepared, and I'm not saying this. This comes from the Bulgat study, which was done for small, I think 3,600 small businesses. And what they found was that 58% of the business owners believe that they are unlikely to be targeted because we are so small, how is anybody going to have anything to do with us? 43% did not have a cyber defense plan in place. What does that mean? Basically, it means that suppose you were attacked, there was some kind of disruption to your business, there was no steps put in place prior to that attack, which would help you recover quickly. And bunch of people did not, businesses did not do any kind of employee training. And why did they not do? Because small businesses lack proper protection. 1 in 3 businesses used free consumer cybersecurity, and 1 in 5 businesses used zero endpoint security. It means, what is endpoints? When we talk in a business sense, when I talk to enterprise customers, what is endpoints? Any computer, any device, any mobile device, any tablet that you use in your business to conduct your business, that is endpoint, and there is no security present for them. Small businesses like to keep it in-house, and there is a reason for that, because you can't afford people to have take care of your cybersecurity, but it is good to have some designated person who has like a list of tasks entrusted to them so that they can take care of the IT infrastructure as well as small business systems. we're going to talk about 3 most common attacks. What are the most common attacks, right? Ransomware, identity theft, and breach of customer data. So what is ransomware? If you wake up in the morning, you switch on your computer, and if you see something like this, I will give you an analogy. Like, you have business files, you've got like paper, like back in the paper world, we have like customer information and there's a bunch of files, and you secure it with a lock. So you have this cabinet. What ransomware does is it changes your lock and puts their lock on it. And now they're asking you for money, so that provide you with a key to open your customer's data or whatever else. So what happens is that anything which is on your computer is encrypted and locked by this malicious software, right? And what they are asking you is, they are asking you to pay them in Bitcoin, so that provide you with a key which can decrypt all your data. So that is ransomware. Okay, so you wondering, how did this, I never like allowed anybody into my computer, what happened and how can I prevent it? So how do we prevent ransomware? Never click on unverified links. Now, what are unverified links? In the sense that you get an email from, say, your bank says, hey, there is some message and I want you to approve it. This transaction is there, whatever, something that comes through. Never go and click that link. Go and log into your bank account. And then there is all banks have this secure messaging available, because they know that, and they don't want to get into you clicking on any links or anything. So secure you and to secure themselves. Go into that secure messaging and see if there is any message waiting for you. If it is not, then definitely this was just a way. It's called phishing email. So what does phishing mean? They're trying to get information from you. So never click on any unverified links. Do not open any untrusted email attachments, in the sense that you get an email saying, hey, your baby gap invoice. And there's like no kid in your family. You've got not bought anything from Baby Gap, but now you're curious. You want to see what that invoice is for. Don't click on any attachment. You did not order it. You've not shopped at that. So just ignore and mark it as spam and delete it. Only download from sites that you trust. Now, there might be something somewhere you read, oh, this is a great utility. You can download it here and it's going to save you time, maybe save you money. But do not download stuff from sites which are like randomly on the internet, where you cannot verify who that site belongs to, or you do not know if it belongs to somebody who you trust, right? Avoid giving out personal data. Now, before this phishing campaign can take place, somebody might be calling you. It's called social engineering. So people might call you and try and find out, hey, Jane, do you like to go on a vacation for, say, maybe skiing? And Jane says, no, I don't like skiing, but it'd be great if I could go river rafting. So now she gets an email saying 50% off on this river rafting resort XYZ. She's more likely to click on that. So don't give out any personal information to anybody. Please instruct your employees, your contractors, whoever is doing business with you, not to give out your spouse, your kids, everybody, not to give out any information to people who are calling you on the phone and asking you for stuff. And they might come up and sound very official. They might say, okay, I'm calling you because I'm going to like shut down suspend your social security card or whatever. It's not possible. Nobody can suspend a security number or something. They might call you and say, hey, I'm calling from the IRS and I need this information. Okay, if they are from the IRS, why do they need? Because they already have all my information. So just think through things a little bit before you answer anybody. Use mail server content scanning and filtering. If you are using G Suite, if you are using Office 365, if you are using Zoho Mail or any other mail server, in that case, the service provider is going to do all that. Never use unfamiliar USBs. If you find some USB drive lying around, never pick it up and try and see what is inside. Never put it on your attach it to your computer. Keep software and operating systems updated. There are options both in Windows and Chrome as well as Mac, which says that keep your computer system updated. So just click on it and make sure that it is auto updating whatever updates are coming in. When using a Wi-Fi, public Wi-Fi, use a VPN. Now, why do you need to use a VPN? Because that is going to create a tunnel from your computer, to right to the service provider who's providing you with that. And so nobody can get in between and scan stuff. Nobody can steal things from whatever you are browsing or whatever you are doing. Yes, we have HTTPS, and HTTPS is securing from your browser to the from your browser, encrypts information from your browser to the server. However, VPN is that extra layer that provides more security. Use a security software. Now, what is a secure? Why is it called a security software? Why don't we call it antivirus or whatever, right? Because security software does a lot more than just provide you with antivirus or anti-malware kind of utility. And so you will ask, okay, so where do I get this from? Go to your internet service provider. So if you're using Verizon, if you're using any other internet service providers that provide you with internet connection, go to their website. They will have a suite of products available to secure you, and you can download it. I don't know, sometimes it's provided free because they want to secure their customers. Sometimes maybe there is an add-on fee. Maybe they are charging you per device, but whatever it is, just go there and download that software and understand why you are doing what you are doing, and then keep that updated. And then back up your data. So suppose today, like you have this ransomware and everything is encrypted. If you have your data backed up, you can start from yes, you will lose like maybe information from the last time that you had backed it up. But you can download, you can like format your machine, and you can load that good data which you had. So always back up your data, and data backup doesn't need to be like some special task. If you have like a Mac or you've got a PC, there are programs available which is like automatically take backup, store it safely somewhere. And so it's not like a big something that, you have to be very technical to understand. Now, so we talked about ransomware, how to prevent it, and then what is identity theft? So fraudulent acquisition of a person's personally identifiable information is identity theft. And what is identity fraud? So when you use that information for illicit gain, it is called identity fraud. And I know there's a lot of information on this on this graph, and I'm not going to go through all that, but the impact of identity theft is really large. This deck will be shared with you, so you can take your time and understand how this data can be used to scam you. Okay, now can you prevent identity theft, right? You can't prevent it like 100%, but you can detect it early. So there are steps that you can take to prevent it and detect it early. Means 100% nobody can say that yes, you can prevent it. Yes, to a certain extent, but then early detection also helps. So the first thing that you do is you opt out of pre-screened offers. What are pre-screened offers? Like every, I mean, in your mail, right? In your like physical mail that you go and pick out from your mailbox outside, you get these letters, or you get these things saying, yes, you've been pre-approved and apply for this credit card or that credit card, or you'll get like probably 30,000 miles and points if you buy this, like apply for this credit card. So opting out of all that is the first step. So you stop getting that, because if you're not getting that, then nobody can steal that from the mailbox and apply it for themselves. So that is the first thing. Second thing is place a freeze, security freeze on your NCTUE disclosure. So what is that? Suppose any kind of utility is trying to provide you with service, they will go and check this, right? So nobody can get service on your name. They cannot apply for any service on your name if there's a security freeze. Then place a credit freeze on these. So these are links where you can go and place a credit freeze. Now, what is a credit freeze? It means that without your permission, without you lifting this information, your credit information cannot be checked by anybody else. So first thing that happens is, like, you try to buy something, you try to go and do something. They'll say, yes, you're going to run a credit check. As soon as they run a credit check, the scamsters, they will come to know that, oh, there's a security freeze, so the credit freeze, and they will not be able to get access to any information. So that is one thing. Check your credit report for free. So there is this link. All these three credit bureaus will provide you with an annual free credit report. So what you do is, you set up every 4 months, you set up a calendar reminder, and you go in and it says, like, say, hey, October, right? So now I'm going to go to Equifax and ask them for my credit report, free credit report, and they're going to give it to you. You check if everything looks okay, or there are changes, or there are like accounts which you don't know anything about. But it's going to help you, because, like, you looked at this credit report 4 months back. So you do that for free. Then review your credit card bank statements very carefully. Means if there are any charges you don't recognize, ask your family if they made any charges, or call your bank and say, hey, I don't know what this is, so can you explain to me what's going on? Read your statements of benefits sent by your health insurance carrier. So if suppose you have to visit a doctor, you pay your copay, and then your insurance takes care of the other payments. If suppose there is something that needs to be paid, you get an invoice. In addition to that, what you will get is a statement of benefits, and it says very clearly, this is not an invoice. It just tells you, oh, on so and so date you went, or maybe somebody from your family went to a doctor. This is the things that services that were provided. So suppose today, and it's called medical fraud, and it's very common. So basically, if somebody else used your medical information to avail of any service from any service provider, your insurance company sends you the statement of benefits, which you can check and make sure that nobody else is using it. So you are not a victim of identity theft, and your medical information is not being used to avail of free service. Then sign up for ID theft monitoring service. So ID theft monitoring service could be part of your credit card. So see if your credit card company provides you as an add-on, or you can go to the credit bureaus, one of these three, and sign up for that theft monitoring, ID theft monitoring service. So as soon as there is any change, they will call you and say, hey, this is a change, did you make it? And you will say yes or no. Then use a password manager. So what is a password manager? Normally we use a single password for everything because we think it's really secure. And then for ease of use, right? Because you don't want to remember, oh, what did I use for the bank? What did I use for my email? What did I use for this, that, the other? But what a password manager does is it provides you with that same service. And if you are using a Apple device or a Apple computer or a tablet or something, Apple has got a very good keyword. It's called keychain, which basically saves your passwords, and then you secure it with, say, Face ID or something of that sort. But otherwise, what the password manager does, it creates strong, complex passwords for every service that you use, and you have to remember just one password, which is for the password manager. So every time you try to use it, it'll pre-populate your email address and your secure password. It will even go in and you can say, I want to change it, and it will go and change your password. It's a very secure password. It's big. So that is another thing that you could do. Set up multi-factor authentication. Now, what is multi-factor authentication? It sounds a little bit techy, but I'll just explain to you what exactly that is. It could be a one-time password which is sent to your phone or your tablet or your email, right? It could be you could download a Google Authenticator app, which is free on your mobile device, on your phone, and then it generates a number. So what happens is that when you put in your username and password, it will ask you, hey, can you provide the number that is maybe Google Authenticator or maybe used password manager like LetPass or any other password manager and LastPass or something. And what they will do is they will provide you with that code. So now you have something, which is your username and password. And then they are checking that you have something which is your phone. So that is multi-factor, it's two-factor authentication. And now suppose you don't have, somebody else doesn't have your phone, they are not going to be able to have access to your account, even though your username and password are stolen. Then use a VPN. Again, we discussed the same thing previously. Use a VPN service when you are on public Wi-Fi. Don't click links in emails. Okay. If you do not know who this person is sending you this, or sometimes what happens is that you are receiving an email from somebody else, maybe they are compromised. So if it doesn't sound like that person, like suppose, hey, Stellario is sending me, Nilüfer, click on this. This is something great. And I know Stellario. He always he has these nice emails where there is no typos, no spelling mistakes, nothing. And now here, this guy is trying to spoof Stellario's, maybe it's coming from Stellario's email, but it doesn't look right. So don't click on it. Call him up and say, hey, Stellario, what's going on? Did you send me an email? And he said, no, I did not. And now you know that there's some kind of scam. And so Stellario can go check his email and see what's going on over there. Sign up for paperless billing. What is paperless billing? So basically you get your bills in mail, right? In your mailbox, which is not your email box, but your USPS mailbox. By signing up for paperless billing, you are saving that, because what do? I mean, you save it for a couple of days and then you're going to shred it or something. So we save paper. At the same time, it is a security feature. So you will get an email saying, hey, your statement is ready. Go and check your bank, right? So it's not going to come to your email. So nobody else, even if your email gets compromised, nobody can see that. And then nobody can pick it up and read what is going on in your on your statements, etc. Do not provide any personally identifiable information to a caller over the phone. So again, do not, if you get any call, first thing, just to secure yourself, on most mobile devices, either it is iPhone, or if it is a Android phone or something, there are apps available which have call blockers, which will, known scammers, known people who are calling you, those can be very easily blocked, right? So that protects you to a certain extent, because sometimes you just want to see who's calling you from Canada, and maybe it's a scammer. So if it is a known scammer, then in that case, the software will take care of it and you will not receive a call at all. Keep your computer updated, install anti-malware and firewalls, right? So if you have a business, you're trying to secure your business, make sure that every computer or every laptop or every tablet or every phone that you are using is secured by some kind of anti-malware, and it's updated automatically. Shred all mail with PII, personally identifiable information. So you might get mail coming in once you've disposed of, you've done whatever, you've actioned it, and now you've got this. If you don't need it for anything, then and you're going to throw it away, then make sure that you shred it and you just don't tear it, or you just throw it somewhere. If you cannot do all that, then there are certain townships have got secure mailboxes or something, where you throw it and they shred it on your behalf or something. So please take care of that. Contact post office if you notice any change in your mail delivery. If suppose you do not get mail, you've been getting mail regularly and now you don't get mail, maybe there is some kind of a change and somebody's forwarded it, or somebody has made a request to hold it and they'll come and pick it up or something. So call up your post office and find out what's going on. USPS.com has a service which is called secure email. So they will send you an email of all the mail that is going to come to you that day. They have scanned it out, and so now you can see, oh, these are the 5 things that I'm supposed to get today. If those 5 things do not come to you, you can log into your account, click on it and say, hey, I did not get this piece of mail. And then the Postmaster General initiates an investigation. So please make use of it. And we did everything. So now your question is, so is my identity secure now? No, but you can, being proactive, we've done everything that we could do. So you can manage the impact, right? In the off chance that your identity still gets like compromised, you can manage that impact very quickly because now you are vigilant, you are taking these steps that we discussed. Okay, we come to now breach of customer data. Just as you would, suppose a customer would come in and in a brick and mortar store, and they would provide you with, say, something, right? Hey, I want you to take this and make something for me, or maybe like you are processing whatever they are giving you. In that case, you would like store it very safely because it's customers' information, customers' material, or customers' whatever it is that they are giving you to work on. Same way, right? When a customer entrusts you with their information, their data, it's your job. And it's not only your job in the sense that it's your moral obligation, it is your legal obligation to secure that data. And at least from a perspective of what a normal common thinking man would do, you will use that common sense to secure their data. I mean, it's not 100%. There is always all the time, like even enterprise companies with so like security departments, which are like probably 1,400-1,500 people, they suffer breaches. So people can understand that you suffered a breach, but you should be able to say, hey, I did this, and I still suffered a breach, right? So then at least there is like something that you did and you got breached, right? But if you come up and they say, hey, what did you do? And I say, I don't know, I didn't do anything. And so that's not going to look really good when somebody is trying to ask you what happened to their data and how come it got breached from your shop or from your computer or from wherever it is, whatever your systems are. So who are the threat actors, right? 74% are external, but 26% are internal. Now, internal could be disgruntled employees. Then it says partner. So partner in the sense, suppose you are sharing that data with a third party for doing something. Disgruntled employees are there. There are like other people who are working for you. Maybe there is somebody else who processes your data on your behalf, right? So think about that. 26% you can easily take care of, right? By securing, making sure that people who do not need access to your customers' data are not provided it. What are the motives? 83% is financial. So there is always a financial motive for taking the data, right? 8% is espionage, 3% is fun, and 3% is grudge. Means somebody doesn't like you. Somebody, maybe you rub somebody the wrong way. Maybe they just feel that, you were not fair to them. You don't even know. You may not know why it is, but grudges mean some kind of disgruntlement with you or your business or maybe your views, right? And they don't like what you're saying publicly, or maybe they do not like something that is going on, like whatever you are expressing. So what data is compromised? We found out that who the threat actors are, we found out what the motives are, but what is the data that is compromised? Credentials, customer credentials, right? Why? Because I want to convert it into cash. Personal information. So your customer's personal information, your personal information could also be stolen. Other, which is process information. Maybe you've got like some method that you are using to process the customer, to serve your customer, right? There is something that you use. Oh, what is your ad spend? Oh, what is your, who are you outsourcing your stuff to? Any other information. Then internal information. It means something which is like IP, like which is your intellectual property. Maybe there is some kind of information that is not available, accessible. Who are your customer list? Maybe you have a list of customers. So that could be something that a competitor or somebody can like, wanting to buy it. So those are the kind of information, data that can be compromised. All right, so now we are trying to understand what are the top patterns, what we would talk like in technical language, what are the threat vectors, how is your data compromised, right? Phishing, what we talked about, phishing will lead to ransomware. It will lead to compromise of your systems, right? Your data leakage of sorts. Account takeover. So what is account takeover? Account takeover means when somebody else is trying to impersonate you and take over your account, in the sense that suppose you have a bank account, you have a email account, you've got like say maybe your telephone carrier's account, you've got like your credit card account, any kind of account where they want to go in and take take over your credentials so that they can use it for their financial gains. How does it happen? We have this system what is like one-time password, right? But what happens is that they will, maybe they've got your username and your password. Now the company, the bank, right? The bank says, hey, I'm going to send you a one-time password. So they might call you and say, hey, Jane, I am calling from say XYZ company, and maybe like there was some problem with the utilities were down, and I want to provide you with a $50 gift card. I'm sending you just to make sure that it is you who are I'm talking with. I'm going to send you a one-time password. So you get that one-time password from your bank, which says, Jane, do not share it with anybody. And then this guy's calling you, and you say, okay, so you want this number? And he says, yeah, can you read it out to me? Because now he's trying to access your bank account. Anytime you receive a one-time password or say a text message or SMS from your phone company which says, hey, are you buying these 10 tablets? Did you approve it? Always log in and see. If you bought it, then yes, you confirm it. Yes, I bought this. If you did not, then in that case, make sure that you never, like when somebody calls, you never convey that information to anybody. Never give out that information to anybody. Never read out your code. Never read out any information. If somebody says, hey, I'm trying to test you, if you did not initiate that call, you don't know who's calling you, then don't do that. Because sometimes what happens is that they will, the scammers will try to spoof the numbers of companies. So it might look like it's coming from Verizon. However, it's a scammer calling from somewhere else. Who's using some kind of a software which spoofs their telephone number. Malware. Malware is any kind of software doesn't do what it is supposed to be doing. So if it tells you that, yes, I'm going to like maybe I'm like a utility that you're using, but it is not doing what it is doing. And that is called malware. Malware is like antivirus. Malware could be any other software that you use to protect. Malware is something that you, which is like a bad software. So basically software and malware. Malware is something which is like trying to compromise your security. Ransomware, again, we talked about ransomware initially. And okay, so now how do you secure your customer data? Or forget about customer data. How do you secure your data, right? Train yourselves and your employees, right? Train them in the sense that suppose you've got 3 employees, maybe you've got only 2 employees, right? Make sure that you and your employees know certain basic cyber hygiene, right? Maybe share this deck with them. Tell them, do not click on links, do not do this, do not do that. And it could be something that if you have like a team meeting or something, first 5 minutes, just go through this. Say, hey guys, do you still remember this? And do it every time you have your meetings. People will maybe not be that aware, but like if you bring it on often, they will understand that yes, this is very top of mind, and it is extremely important that you secure the data that you're given. Create secure passwords. Use multi-factor authentications. Avoid clicking on links. Do not download software that you did not buy. Don't give any information to people over the phone. Another thing, as a business, right? Do not ask your customer to provide you with information that is not required for you to do your business. So minimize your risk. Just because, and another good thing about that is that if you are asking me, like, you're providing me some service, and the only thing that you require to provide me with that service is my user ID and my or username and my email address, or maybe an email address and a password or something, then in that case, please don't ask people for their home address, their telephone numbers, XYZ, right? Because if it is not important, if it is not needed for you to provide me with that service, then there is no need for you to have it. So that is a basic, simple thing, right? If you do not need it, then just don't ask for stuff just because you think. Another thing is, a good thing out of that is that when you have traffic which is coming to your website or your store or whatever, right, your conversion will be much higher. Conversion means they will become customers much faster because you are not putting in all these extra things, because people are just worried of sharing all the data, and they are like thinking to themselves, why is he asking me for it? Why is she asking me for it? What are they going to do with this information? So the collect only information that is required for you to provide service, and then protect what you collect. Okay. So again, secure your Wi-Fi connection or wired connection. I have a firewall. If you don't know what that is, then again, go to your service provider's website, check what they have offered. Use secure online payment processes. What happens is small businesses tend to collect information, like in the sense credit card information. Credit card information is called PCI, payment information, right? Do not take that thing on, do not take on that responsibility, because if you use, maybe you're using Stripe, maybe you're using PayPal, maybe you're using Razorpay, I don't know what you use, but if you use payment processors, they take that burden of that payment card information security from you. You do not get that information. So I don't know anything about your credit card, so I'm not involved in protecting it, right? Because credit card breaches are huge and you don't want to be part of it. So use secure online payment processors, which now brings down your risk. Encrypt and back up your data. So use the data backup services that are available, and make sure that you do it on a regular schedule. And you can like set it up, so it's not like something that you have to remember every day, but you have to make sure that that data is backed up. Go in and check and see if that data you can restore from it, right? So once a month, try that out. Like, okay, I have this backup, can I restore my data? So test it out that it's working. Because if you've been paying for 3 years and you realize, oh, the data that they were doing was maybe 3 years old, you've got all this new stuff that you are working on, but that is not part of the backup, then in that case, it's not going to be any use to you. Okay. Last thing, cost of recovery, right? In order to remediate an attack, this is like part of the Bulgat study. On at least you will spend like 10% of your time, and over between 5 and 9,000, less than $10,000 on resolving an attack. And this does not take into account fines that, like, there are certain statutory bodies that maybe you're part of, they could fine you. This does not take into account your customers who could sue you for breach. So just be careful when you have started a business. Make sure that you take care of cybersecurity, just as you would protect your store. You would install an alarm, you would like lock the door, you would tell your employees what to do, you would put some things under in certain cabinets and not let everybody go and touch and feel it. So same way over here also, decide on who are your employees who can have access to your customer data. Not everybody needs to touch it, so they should not be able to touch it. You as a business owner is responsible for your security as well as the security of your customers' data. Thank you so much. Stellario, do we have any questions?
Yes, Nilofer, we have some very good questions. And first of all, thank you for this fantastic presentation. Great content, and I hope it was helpful for everybody. First question we have is from Kim. She says, are there any extra steps you would take beside what you have explained to secure HIPAA information on your computer?
Okay, so HIPAA means health information, right? If you have it on your computer, I think that itself is a little bit scary for me, because why would you have, and suppose, I mean, let's say this is like, Stellario, you know what? I would have her schedule a mentoring session, so that we can, like, probably I can ask her questions on what exactly is meant by HIPAA, because I'm just guessing at this point, and I will guess and just say like, okay, this is a doctor's office, right? Or maybe it's a dentist or something. So now I have got HIPAA information, I've got healthcare information, so patients' healthcare information on my computer systems, right? And I'm trying to secure it. Yes, HIPAA information, if you make any copy, it is considered as a second record. So suppose, and HIPAA has got like certain fines, which is, I think, probably $250 per record. So when you have HIPAA information, you will take care of all these security stuff. You will encrypt your data, you will back up your data, you will make sure that you have secure malware on your computers, and you will make sure that only a few people can access that information. So not everybody in your practice needs to be provided access to that data. If you are working in, say, medical transcription or whatever it is that you are doing, so you are now processing that information. You are sending out an invoice to the credit card so to the insurance company or whatever. Make sure that whatever we talked about today's call, everything will apply to HIPAA information. And HIPAA is like healthcare related stuff. So not everything that you download, like, means, suppose when I was talking about here, right? Free consumer cybersecurity, right? Now you are securing HIPAA information. So make sure that you are not using this consumer cybersecurity product. Make sure that, you can ask them, hey, is it HIPAA compliant? I'm trying to store something in the cloud. Are you HIPAA compliant? And they will say, yes, we are HIPAA compliant. So what is known as a business service BSA. There has to be like a BSA contract between you and a third party that you are trying to share the information with. So there is a bunch of things which are very different from normal. I can't, like, obviously, like, bring up everything, because I'm hoping like this information is provided so everybody on the call can benefit, right? Not like
Kim,
one section. So Kim
perhaps,
can schedule.
Perhaps it's a great idea, Kim, if you want more information on this topic, you can contact Nilofer directly. Her email address is underneath her profile picture, or you can ask for a mentoring session with her. I posted for everybody the link to request for mentoring sessions, and you can do it that way. We have another question from Peter. Peter says, this topic is more about personal security than business. He wrote this at the beginning of the session. On that topic, the question is it necessary to pay for something like Aura Identity Guard, another $20 or $30 a month for ID theft monitoring? Or are they basically the same as cheaper versions such as through Experian, etc.?
Okay, thank you, Peter. When we talk about securing cybersecurity, your comment was that this is more personal, right? However, when you're storing your information as a business, you will have the exact same steps that you will follow, you and your employees. Now, coming back to, is Aura better than what Experian provides? Is it better than what Equifax provides? I don't know what Aura Security Guard provides, what services they cover. So maybe if you have a session with me, or maybe like you can research it and figure out. But identity theft protection is a service which most, even your credit card company could provide that to you, right? So yes, go and take a look at what you need and what they are providing. And so maybe, you'll be able to figure it out better.
Okay. The next question says, I share my password with my virtual assistant who helps me and my web developer. Is there a safe way of doing this?
Yes. So basically, you are, and I know, like, I mean, many small businesses do this, and I know exactly why they do it, because they do not want to pay for a second account for that service or something. If you use a password manager like LastPass, then what happens is you can share access with another member, but they will not be able to see that password. So yes, they will be able to access it, but they will not be able to see your password. It's not like ideal, but if you have to do it, that is a safer way of doing it.
And one more question. I use my phone and iPad for my business. Does everything you said apply to those devices?
Yes, it does. So when you're talking about securing your computer, securing your iPad, securing your phone, any place, like suppose if it is used in business, yes, it will apply for that. If you're, and so for that reason, if you are using something for just like your personal use, maybe watching Netflix, maybe, Facebook or whatever, then do not put your business information, do not use it for business as well. Keep it separate. So you are going to like reduce your risk once you like make sure, oh, these equipments are going to be only used for business. Same thing, talk with your employees, because I've seen people like they will like be doing their Facebook and they will be doing like this, that, the other, and then they will use the same computer and sometimes you just have one computer. So what do? Right? So partition it out, make it user 1, user 2 on that computer. When you are logged in as user 1, only do that. When you're logged in as user 2, only do your personal stuff.
Thank you, Nilofer. That's great advice. If anybody, any participant has any questions for any other mentor present on this call other than for Nilofer, we can keep this open for a few more minutes.
I have a question for Nilofer, which has to do with cybersecurity.
Yeah.
When I call Best Buy for help with my computer and they take control, I allow them to take control of it. Is that a good idea? Or is that not a good idea to allow someone to have control of your computer?
No, yes, Best Buy is your geek squad, right?
Yeah.
Yes. However, if you don't know who is like Best Buy, you have a contract with them, right? Yeah. So it's okay. At the same time, close all your, they will tell you before you start, right? Close your, if you are browsing something which is confidential, this, that, the other, close those programs, right? So they will access to find out what's going on and help you with your issue. But at the same time, do not let them see whatever is confidential on your computer.
Okay.
Any other questions?
There are no other questions. So I think we can adjourn this webinar. Thank you, Nilofer. This was very, very interesting. And to all the participants, if you want to further the mentoring you can receive from SCORE, besides the topic that Nilofer has explained, I posted on the Q&A the link to the SCORE website on how to find a mentor, and we look forward to helping you in your efforts. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Yeah.